Recently, AOK Zoe announced a brand new handheld with some built-in features that we've been waiting on for quite some time with these handheld gaming PCs. Some of these features we've seen in bigger manufacturers, but when it comes to these smaller guys like AOK Zoe, this is really awesome because we've now got a VRR display here. It's not OLED, and more information will be rolling out soon from the company, but if you're not familiar with AOK Zoe, this is the sister company to A1X Player. And it was kind of a coincidence because recently I was filming a video with the first gen AOK Zoe A1. Now what I want to do with this is kind of get the same performance that we're going to see with the upcoming Legion Go with that Z2 Go chip, because after all, I mean, basically that's a 6800U with 4 cores and 8 threads instead of 8 cores and 16 threads. And the A1 is close enough in size with that 8-inch display, and given the fact that the original A1 that I have here has the 6800U, kind of makes it a perfect candidate for that. But yeah, AOK Zoe has already released 3 different handhelds. We've got the A1 that you're seeing on screen right now. It's powered by the AMD Ryzen 6800U, so this is kind of their first gen model. Then they released the A1 Pro with the Ryzen 7840U, offering a nice little bump in performance. And finally, the A2, which is coming in smaller. It's kind of like the A1X Fly without the RGB on the sides of the unit. Ryzen 7840U over here also. But their brand new handheld is known as the AOK Zoe A1 X, and they did release a few slides over on Twitter, or I guess it's called X now. And they did give us some information, kind of teased a few things, like the new joysticks that they're going to be using here, capacitive joystick electrode contactless induction. I think these are just Hall sensors. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, this might be some new tech that we haven't seen just yet. Let me know if you've heard of something like this in the comments below, or if it's just Hall-based analog sticks. But moving over to what we know right now at the time of making this video, the A1X is going to be powered by the AMD Ryzen Ai 9 HX370. 12 cores, 24 threads, kind of on par with the Z2 Extreme, but this actually has a few more cores. I can't wait to get the Z2 Extreme in my hand and see what it does, but we still get that Radeon 890 GPU with 16 compute units based on RDNA 3.5, an 8-inch 120Hz VRR display, so this is going to be really awesome. And when it comes down to it, I believe we'll see some more handhelds launch with this display. I mean, we've already seen 2 on the market. Well, one's coming soon. The MSI Claw 8 AI has that 8-inch display, VRR 120Hz, and the upcoming Legion Go S. So it is an IPS, but it looks good, and we've got that variable refresh rate, so we're not going to experience any tearing on this thing. It's also going to be packing a 72 watt-hour battery. Now, it's not as large as the ROG Ally X or the MSI Claw 8 AI, but it's great to see a manufacturer like this using a larger cell, because we usually see, 45 to 56 watt-hour. 72 will give us much better runtime than those smaller batteries. And the great thing here is that Ryzen Ai 9 HX370 is a very efficient chip, and even at lower wattages, it performs really well. And we've already got a good idea of how that HX370 is going to perform. This is God of War Ragnarok 1080p, medium settings, frame gen on, 18 watt TDP, seeing an average over 80 FPS, and it will run this at 15 watts. This is the A1X Player F1 Pro. It's using the Ryzen Ai HX370. We're going to see the same kind of performance here over on the new AOK Zoe A1X, but have a much larger screen, variable refresh rate support, so we'll have FreeSync here, and a much larger battery. I'm actually excited about this, but unfortunately there's no word on pricing. Now, with everything on the market right now, they do need to come in at a pretty decent price point out of the box with this, and I know they've got a lot of new tech here. One main thing that's been hurting a lot of these 370 powered devices out there, from mini PCs, laptops, and handhelds, is the price of the chip alone from AMD. So obviously, they got to recoup that cost for a much more expensive CPU, but hopefully we do see a decent price point for the A1X, because this is the kind of handheld that I've really been waiting for. I love the 370's performance. I also love bigger screens. Going from 7 to 8 really does make a difference. But I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. What price point would they need to hit for you to buy something like this? And right now, at the time of making this video, there was no word on storage and RAM. It might be up now over on their X page. I'll leave a link in the description. I'd say anywhere from 16 up to 64. They'll probably have a few different SKUs. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. As soon as I get some more information, or maybe even get my hands on one, I will make another video or post it up on my community section. And again, let me know in the comments below, what price point do they need to hit for you to be interested in the AOK Zoe A1X. But that's it for this one, and like always, thanks for watching.